We have all said it. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And we all know it's not true. Neuroscience has shown that the brain receptors for physical pain and emotional pain are the same ones. Words can hurt or heal. Words have power. Well, today is Christ the King Sunday in the church year, and the issue on Christ the King Sunday is power. On that first Good Friday, Pilate had the power. He could execute that inconvenient impostor. Everyone knew it. Power over death means power over life. There was a dissenting voice. Jesus, remember me, the one thief said. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. That one saw what few others did. That power over death means power over life. And power over life means power over death. Today, Jesus promises him. Jesus exercises his power over life. Today, you will be with me in paradise. Well, who has the power? We would proclaim that the power belongs to Jesus, the crucified and risen Lord. He turns power inside out and upside down. He inaugurates a new order, not governed by fear and force and judgment, but a new order governed by love and grace and mercy. Jesus is the King, and he is reigning from that unlikely cross-shaped throne. He is the King that the grave cannot contain. Paul writes these words in Colossians 1, these great words. Jesus is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For in him all things in heaven and earth were created, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or powers. All things have been created through him. And all power belongs to him. Jesus showers that power on his body, the church. Paul's words are nothing short of astonishing here. May you, he says, may you be made strong with all of the strength that comes from his glorious power. And may you be prepared to endure everything with patience, while joyfully giving thanks to the Father who has enabled you to share in the inheritance with the saints in light. That power is showered upon Christ's body, the church. And what do we do with that power? Well, we love our neighbors as ourselves. And we do that in specific and concrete ways. We're reading our way through Luther's catechism here to Emanuel in this anniversary year of the Reformation. Today we read the 8th commandment. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Well, what is this? Let's read it together. We are to fear and love God, so that we do not tell lies about our neighbors, betray or slander them, or destroy their reputations. Instead, we are to come to their defense, speak well of them, and interpret everything they do in the best possible light. Words can hurt, or words can heal. Words have power. The commandments, Luther teaches us, are cumulative. One builds upon another. Bearing false witness kills our neighbor's reputation. Bearing false witness steals our neighbor's honor. God will not have our neighbor deprived of his reputation, honor, and character, Luther writes in the Large Catechism, any more than of his money and possessions. Words have the power to kill or to heal, and we are called to exercise great care with that power. Words can quickly escape our control because they're so powerful. There is the old story of a person who repeated a rumor about the neighbor. Later, the gossiper discovered that that rumor was not true. He went to an elder in the community to discover how to make things right. And the elder said, go home and take a feather pillow off your bed. Take it outside, rip it open, and scatter the feathers. And then come back to me tomorrow. The following day, the gossip returned, and the elder said, bring all the feathers back to me. Well, the gossip searched for the feathers, but the wind had carried them all away. You see, the elder said, it's easy to scatter the feathers, but impossible to get them back. It's easy to spread hurtful words. It's impossible to completely undo the damage. That's the negative part, the prohibition of the commandment. Gossip has to go. Words can hurt. Words have power. But that's not the last word. When we eliminate a bad habit, we need to substitute a good one. That's how we're made. That's why the meanings of the commandments have positive conclusions to them. Instead, Luther continues, we are to come to our neighbor's defense, speak well of them, and interpret everything they do in the best possible light. That little bit of the commandment for most of us would be enough work for a lifetime. Alice Roosevelt Longworth, not the nicest of the Roosevelts, Alice Roosevelt Longworth once said, if you haven't got anything nice to say about anybody, come sit next to me. Today, the killing power of words is multiplied 1,000-fold by electronic media. Gossip and innuendo can be used to create a false sense of intimacy, to make us feel superior to the people we're talking about, to damage enemies and control dissent. Words can hurt or heal. Words have power. Now, what do we do with that power? Well, we turn the negative conversation back to the gossiper. We discuss ideas and tasks rather than people. We withdraw from negative conversations when nothing else works. What do we do with that power? We stand with the victims of gossip. We confront the culture of bullying in our schools, and our workplaces, and our community, and our society. We train ourselves and our young people to resist the killing power of words in our lives. And when I say killing power, I don't mean that as an exaggeration. One of the horrific outcomes of our verbal culture in this time is the dramatic rise in the suicide rate of teens and young adults. Most of all, we speak out loud. We use words to speak out loud the truth of God's love in Jesus. That's the best use of language. God has rescued us from the power of darkness, Paul writes, and transferred us into the kingdom of His beloved Son, in whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. Those are words with real power. Those are words that never hurt. Let's use them often. Let's pray. Loving and gracious God, you give us mouths to speak and ears to hear. Empower us to use those gifts for healing and life. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.